can just leave, right? Because you don't want to play into Nigma Galaxy's 5-man yet early on into the game. So they've already got that going for them in that they can pick and choose, because they can push out all of these lanes with Darkseer's Iron Shell and never be in a situation where they might have to meet them head on. Also, Monkey King and Spirit Breaker, both heroes who benefit very greatly from an Ag's Darkseer. So that could be something that we're looking at actually. He doesn't have to play for these aura items, he can just go for that early Ags if he chooses to.
That seems like a stable mid. Lina, how would she do if that Spirit Breaker turns out to be mid, or are we just expecting this last pick to be the 149? The PA comes out.
Okay, so Lina is a very well-rounded hero in that she only really needs 2 items to be effective, and those items are BOTs and BKB. And when she has those, she has wave clear, she has the ability to rotate early, she has the ability to split push and join fights, right? So she does come online very early, and we were talking about Nigma Galaxy's desire to maybe play for objectives or 5-man early on. So she does fit into that well. She is susceptible to dying early on, but
yes,
that's the issue when you pick Lina. Do they have heroes that can jump her and blow her up? And this PA, they've picked something that can kill her through the BKB even. We were talking about that BKB being conditional for effectiveness. Boom.
Yeah.
Got the hero.
So I think I get where Nigma were coming from here with this Lina pick, because they didn't know the mid matchup yet. They needed to get something open-ended that doesn't get abused too much, and it's probably something they've been talking about, like, okay, what are we going to grab for him in? I'm not too sold on this hero with their lineup, to be honest, and I think picking it into Spirit Breaker Darkseer is very dangerous. Lina is susceptible to running into small feeding breeds, and this hero suffers a lot from dying. It's very tempo-based. If you die 3 or 4 times early mid-game, you fall off very quickly. So I'm honestly quite concerned about this last pick, Lina.
But on the other hand, you could say that if she does hit her item tags and get that early MKB, then PA is
they can be strong.
Yeah, PA is in danger of joining these fights versus an early MKB. And it's just that I don't want to call anybody, but I just feel like Nigma Galaxy gameplay right now isn't as polished as Tundra's, so I feel like Tundra will have an easier time executing.
I think that game is harder to play too. I think the Nigma strategy is going to require some finesse.
And we're sticking to the theme of the day, where tempo is important on the side of Team Nigma in this case.
I would say tempo is important, but I don't feel like that's where they struggled. It felt like they struggled a bit with their early game and their lanes. So if they can make sure those don't go design, actually set the tempo they wanted to.
All right, let's see if they can survive the lanes and maybe get even a little bit of a head start out of that. That's what we're going to find out together with our commentary team. It's the Pixel and Tikov.
Thank you very much, Shiwi. Yes. Nigma Tundra getting into the panels. Thoughts on that? What do you reckon going into this game one? I
kind of do. Because you've got Spirit mid, and it's finally the return of the hero into the mid lane since, you know, the Xiao hero when he was standing for PSG. And so Tundra has fully subscribed to this hero in the middle. So they pick the Dark to enable it. They've got the layered damage with the PA behind. So yeah, it's an exciting draft from Tundra. And also, you've got Warlock being where I double checked like the pro pubs. Yeah, it's the 3rd least paid hero in like competitive game. Sorry. So like 7k plus MMR. It's only 113 games.
Is that expected? Like, when you still see that hero in that position, you're like, well, you know, probably is more viable than people seem to be dealing with it, or are you like, this hero is kind of hard to execute?
Yeah, it's very much hard to execute here, just because the way with those progress, it's pace, collapse lanes quickly, play off of skirmishing spells. If you have bigger cooldowns, you need to make sure that you can help them cleanly. And of course in pubs, that's really hard to execute, so the hero isn't too favored. But even competitively, like, we barely see the hero, and it is because, like they mentioned on the panel, the ult is like 170 seconds, hard to connect that perfect golem to initiate to get that fight going. See it without being see.
Look at that sticker.
That banging sticker.
Goodness. There we go. Action is kicking off here as Skeeter. Oh, it's going to be fun. I'll take a bit of damage on it. And it. Kuro. Is it down? Actually, well, Kuro is ready. They'll kill him off for that one. That'll be first blood there for the Snake King.
I'm just getting started.
Kuro's aggression, you know, he's got this. Work down on Skeeter. I'm going to punch him in the face as well. Ends up falling flat on his face.
So good. Yeah, how strong PA is, but of course you have the dagger slow, the ooze, the spring as well. Even the Warlock had Fairy and the hill, you're not going to be surviving BC here.
No.
You respect the good.
Yeah, he was going for it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I just want to see some gracious faction in this game.
You no one will.
And you see that they've kind of into the idea as well. Put Warlock in the flint as well, moved away from the classic Weaver being 4 position. Of course, Croaky is 5, but it's you put the hill, Bane PA lanes or PA +1. It's all about poking the enemy down when they're half HP. That's when you jump them and you try and punish them. Put the Warlock on that lane. The whole kill threat of Bane PA is completely gone, right? So I actually kind of like it as long as Mind Control can accelerate his time to get where he has armor. Right now, he has no armor items in his inventory, but if he does go for the helm or he's like a casual buckler, something like that, they will be able to free farm up here. But
oh, look at this aggression. They see exactly when they can try and get aggressive onto Mind Control. He will be fine this time round. He'll come through from Shadow Word. Same time on the other side of the map, Nigma Galaxy will get themselves a kill. Top lane Skeeter tried to jump in for Kuro. Again, not enough damage to take either of them down, but still bullying them back, giving themselves some space to hit the creeps. But yeah, they got the kill down bottom. GH was able to pick that one up.
yeah, so what happened in bot lane, it was GH when he hit level 2, he did have his swarm available, so he was able just to chase down, unlike most supports who go for the Germinate attack, picking up swarm at 3. Kind of a surprising skill build, did kind of catch Tundra off guard there. But early on, I mean, we're trying to look and prod a little bit, and of course we haven't mentioned it much, but we are going to be seeing RMN on this mid laner. His type of game is going to be that Yule's BKB-esque frontlining style hero that can just pump out the damage, and Nigma's looking to play out their lanes, get that Roshan and then send it into Tundra. Like if they pause or wait at any moment in this game and PA gets, you know, Battle Fury Deso +1, it's only Beastmaster with the Raw that's going to be able to prevent the PA from having a free game. And of course Spirit Breaker as well, just charging on through. So
we'll see. Fado and Kuro trading hits in the jungle. So who's able to win this off here? Kuro, yeah, we'll start to back off now. The Shadow Work comes to an end, but Fado, like that nightmare. Jump over from Skeeter. Looks like Kuro's pretty dead. Skeeter able to pick up, killing this top lane. Go back to the creeps. Bottom lane, aggression onto Snake King, but a quick surge from 33 gets Snake King away from the two of them. Farm-wise down here, RTW having final time, 16 and 4. No struggle here on the CS in the bottom lane.
and also mid going pretty well as well. Like Lina's actually a really good hero against Spirit Breaker because you put on range, which gives you enough time early on. The speed of charge doesn't allow you to connect before Lina can stun you with the LSA, and also you just wave clear. But the fact that the CS is pretty even, it's faring pretty well for Spirit Breaker. Not really getting too zoned out right now.
See them trying to poke at Fada, but Heroes on home right now. Can't really kill Fada off. He'll come over to the small camp, but again, this is space for Skeeter, so he's going to be happy. Bottom lane, another attempt on the Snake King. It's time round. Oh, he's going to be fine.
Very close.
Quick little dodge takes the bug off him. Snake King will be able to reset once again. 33. Some nice surges to keep his support alive. He's in there. Oh, RMN.
See?
He's in a bit of a deep position. Snake King going in with the spring. Snake King, he's got the stink. He's actually going to...
Will he dodge it?
Oh, he does. Snake King turns the stun, dodges the damage.
Charging 2.
He needs a... he's going to have this up on the bashes as well. Oh, that's unfortunate for RMN. Oh, 9. I mean, that was beautiful moves from Snake King, popping over to the mid like that. Sees RMN obviously in a very deep position now. He was up on the high ground on the enemy mid, and Snake King punishing it perfectly on minimal HP. Top lane, Mind Control. The turn, the axes out, but nothing to Skeeter and Fada running him down. They'll get themselves the kill.
But that's one of those. Oh, I just realized that they're using the Seb spray at Mind Control. Play like Seb.
See that's going on in the mind games. Mid lane, RMN, that's not his tower, but he was under it. He was having a great start. The CS, the laning was going great. This is 2 times now where RMN sort of found himself on the wrong side of the river.
And right now, what we're seeing here from Snake King is it's a perfect example of when you don't have the resources to play the lane, but you have enough to like just enable someone else to take the fight. You don't have to run straight back to base, right? The fact that he stayed in the area, knew that 9 had kill threat,
and that he could get bashes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the skilled part of the hero piece, but yeah, just the fact that Snaking was able to kind of just keep himself active on the map when realistically the call there from Nigma was, yo, Monkey's back to base, he's off map for 15 seconds, don't worry about him, right? That's why RMN's probably playing a little bit more aggressive, but no, just really playing the limits of his hero right now, and runs back to mid and of course gets the kill once again.
Gotta watch out for these snaking movements. Have been nice. That's 33 on his own down bottom, but of course he's been able to pick up farm top lane. See them trying to going to get onto Fada, but these two just aren't really the killers that they want to be right now, Kuro and Micro. They're not going to get that sort of action. Mid lane, he's on the watch again. Snaking, he's got his eyes on Iron.
Yeah, they just toggled the vision right now for Nigma, and it is rather difficult for them right now. They're playing against heroes like Spearbreaker and Monkey King, and the map is complete darkness as 9 connects onto his charge.
He's got his ult in a second as well. And here it comes. Knocks back RTW. Now in the Luna gone. GH. He's going to get caught with the balance. Doesn't drive that vacuum. In a surge at 9. Does he want to dive in for this? Snaking's going to start tanking the tower hit so 9 can get in and help set up to pick up both kills off the back of that rotation.
Yeah, this is where Tundra's kind of punishing right the draft of Nigma right now. Because they don't have these cheap stuns that can move quickly around the map, they are falling victim to, if Spearbreaker moves, unless they use multiple TPs to an area, they are just going to be ran down. And just playing underneath their towers is like the best bet, but you can't at 7 minutes after, can you only farm in the tower, please? Like, that isn't really playing Dota, and that's why Tundra really is trying to use everything here.
Fada. He's going to go straight for the TP out, and he's going to make it out of there. The 3 of Nigma Galaxy coming to try and finally be able to punish him, and still unable to do so. TPs are going to be pretty big this game. The Lina picked up at the end in addition to the stuns that they do have, but 2 of the major lockdowns the Nigma Galaxy are going to rely on are going to be those long cooldown ultimates. So heads up, escape there from Fada.
With the start that they've had on Spearbreaker and PA, you'd also argue that these heroes need a little bit more time to come online, and Nigma's best strategy would be, okay, lanes aren't going great, let's at least group up to hit an objective, but now that you've also got a slightly farmed Spearbreaker, Darks is having a very good time, he's nearly about to be top 3 net worth as well, but like, Tundra can defend any objective, so Nigma have entered a pretty awkward part of the game where they need to either accept that they farm on the towers or make a smoke into a pickoff and then try and get a tower from that. But yeah, right now, it's Tundra's game to make the next move.
He's stepping up to the wrong side of the river again. The Snap King, he's ready to help with the backup. In with the slow to RMN. They perfectly dodged the light strike array. There's going to be RMN going down. Snake King, he's saving a boundless strike. They might actually have the lockdown and control and kill GH as well. The detection comes out a little bit late though. Won't allow 9 to land the ult there. As GH does make it away, but again, RMN dying around this mid area.
Oh, that's the beautiful thing. I'll cut the high fight during the charge, of course. Just to, yeah, see if it's there.
2k lead now for Tundra. Certainly starting to eat up their 3 cores in the top spot. RTW back over to the triangles, playing it safe, trying to get his farm up and hit that timing that is going to allow him to push with the team.
Stat just reminded me a beautiful thing. So with Breaker, you actually can right click while charging. So if you're bugged, you can kill the bug during your charge.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the interesting interaction.
And Mike does die top. It also applies for anything. So if you're charging over a bug, you can deward it.
Oh, they're going to get another. Drop it down the Seb spray as well as he points a finger to the death of Kuroki.
They're just struggling to take the fight right now. You know, like Tundra they perfectly identify this. Like if try and theory craft a fight for Nigma right now. How do they take a fight?
It's tough.
If Beastmaster rolls, they need Lina to be there with damage and they need Swarm. And then Luna and Warlock aren't really providing much right now. They're somewhat level dependent heroes, Luna obviously item dependent. But it's like you need the entirety of Nigma to be present to kill that single hero. And then you layer that with things like Prime Spring on Monkey King, Bulldoze on Spearbreaker, the Surge. Like, there's so many mechanisms for Tundra to punish this weakness in the draft right now that this is their biggest moment in the game to just punish Nigma. Like, of course, Nigma, their heroes will scale. They will be able to take a fight going into, you know, areas of vision when they have spells, when they have the kind of the vision. But again, right now, this is just Tundra really knowing that just what they can do with their heroes.
RTW was able to clean up some nice stacks. So he's catching back up with the farm. Not too far behind that. Just taking definitely time. Still a concern here for Nigma Galaxy.
Because GH has been playing in this safe lane somewhat sacrificial as well. Like, he's only just completing his earn. He's now trying to farm up, but we now get to finally see potentially Nigma trying to make their first move of the game as they move towards top. I wouldn't be surprised if Tundra just bring every hero to this defense. They don't want to give up talents when they're 10-1 up.
GH here, and they're gonna damage before a time lapse. They do. GH goes down, the siege creep pushing in. Tundra can stick around and try to take this town. Nigma Galaxy looking for objectives on the other side of the map though, and they've got very good pushing power themselves, of course, from DIV1 and mind control. They'll deal with the tier 1 tower very quickly, and this is what you kind of need to see their lineup do, right, Nigma Galaxy, as you said. When they do group up, they have got a lot of synergy. But RMN comes up to the high ground. Tundra more than ready for that one, waiting for him in position as Fada immediately grips the Lina.
Yeah, unfortunately for RMN, he is kind of stepping up a little bit aggressive multiple times now. Just trying to get a little bit more farm on the map because, again, it's so difficult where Luna's soaking everything.
Sure.
We've got farming bottom. Like, where does Lina farm right now? Like,
it's hard.
I respect him trying to, like, get that extra camp, be a little bit more cheeky, but Tundra's reading that pretty well. You know, they go for top tower because they used an op bottom. They're like, okay, let's not bother defending top. They still play the air in case they make that play, and yeah, they are just ready for it. But people might be looking at RMN right now like, why are you dying? But if you look at the minimap, there is no farm to have. This map is very small right now.
Go for GH. This time round without the ultimate of 9. They don't have the ability to lock him down completely.
Oh, I love the fact that pro players have evolved the build for Spirit Breaker. Because when it initially was popularized by Zhao 8, it was always Echo Saber. The concept of you have this Echo, you might disassemble for BKB, you want to lock onto a hero and right click them, but it's about getting in and out of the fight. It's about being a nuisance. Utilize bulldoze, make sure their vision feels small because they're wasting sentries on you, make their economy feel bad because you're so hard to kill them. You just go phase, Shadow Blade, maybe an Ags, a BKB, and then the rest of your team will carry you because you're just such a nuisance. Yeah, big fan of that.
Oh, they're trying to get him from the angle again, Nigma Galaxy. It's not easy though. They know this time with 2 of them. GH mind control will back off. And GH trying to scout things out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to be able to find him. He's over to the creeps. They are not able to set things up with a roll there. Skeeter gets out in time.
Instantly draw the line on the minimap. They're like, guys, just let's run to mid. We have got them. We have everything we need to at least try and pick a fight. They're farming the map. You know, you got Monkey going bottom, BA showing.
And they'll get fined. Jump trick like of crashing on the 2 of them. Wolf's been dropped down as well. He just gets caught up under there. And the Luna gone. 9 staying on top of RMN, pushing it back. Skinner jumps in over with Brokey. RMN will turn the Light Striker Ray and the Laguna Blade. 9 trying to run out the side. He's ticking down low. He will fall. But they've lost 3 on Nigma Galaxy. Back in the river, mind control. He'll pop the roar. GH comes cooching across, but there's not nearly enough damage to kill Skeeter. Skeeter, he's still good to go. Jumps in, picks up the triple kill onto mind control. Only GH left alive, and not for long. Tundra, they get the team wipe against Nigma Galaxy.
You see Nigma there, right? They're like, guys, they're showing bottom, they're showing top. Let's give it a go. They get the kill on the Bane. That's good, but the positioning of the Luna deep next to the tier 1 tower gets hit by the wall vacuum, and then at that point, you don't have the kind of positioning to take a secondary fight. Nigma, they're either crushing you within the time in which Golem gets dropped, or they're running away, retreating from the constant threat.
Have a look at it, yeah.
Exactly. So you see hit the start, you have RM, he gets slept up, but he catches Fada. It's looking pretty good. But this early on in the game, very easy for supports to buy back. 2-man charge from 9, and as soon as RT does hit that tower, you know it's a difficult position. He's completely disconnected from his team, and now Nigma, they have nothing in the tank. They're not ready to take the secondary fight. They were hoping for a quick pick into tower, but of course Tundra, they're just quick to react. They show 2 side lanes, but they collapsed within mid within, 5 seconds. The speed in which they came to mid didn't allow Nigma this kind of cheeky play. It was a very bold play. Like, this is very much like a 25% chance of success play from Nigma, but they have to take it with how small the map is right now.
Oh man, these timings now 33. Aghanim's done. We saw as well in that fight, of course, the sort of build up from Skeeter, very effective this game. You know, in this, the AFK Battle Fury build, the Maelstrom into BKB. He's getting involved, and again, the falling in for him now. 17-3, 15 minutes in. Only, I say only pretty lightly, but 4K lead, it's not the end of the world. The ILTW farm is still up there. Yeah, out of the other two cores, and that of Tundra. The rest of the team still has to catch up behind him at 9. A bit of a poke.
But this is why the Shadowblade Rush is so fun on the hero, right? You charge on in, you make sure you use Bulldoze as you're about to connect, don't use it early on for more boost speed, and then you just Shadowblade away. It's like, whoop, I'm here. You gotta use some vision to fight me, and it's so scary. And like we mentioned the idea that, you know, Lunas does have the farm, but that's like the sacrifice of other heroes now losing gold, right? Like, they're sacrificing their own ability to farm just to try and give RTW some access to the fight. And they really need to hope that Tundra tries to make plays right now.
We got fired up. Yeah, it's gonna be gone up on, and he will die. They get the kill, and they step out. The Wukong's command, that won't be punished for that one, so Nigma Galaxy able to pick up a kill, and maybe with one man that can look towards the mid lane, but 9 is going to start heading straight into the front of this fight. Life Track Red will be dodged. 9 steps out of this. He pops the illusion rune. Yeah, so just charging in it. Nigma Galaxy showing them, but even though they may be down a member on Tundra, they're not going to let this tier 1 tower fall.
Well, they have the Ags on Darkseer to enable the Spirit Breaker. And I think Nigma now, they're like, guys, Bane doesn't have buyback to use last time. We might try it, but they're just respecting Spirit Breaker right now. Like, all Spirit Breaker has to do is hit a 2-3 man charge. PA will always be able to blow up that hero connected to that, and it's a wall on top. It is so scary to hit a tower in this game if you're Nigma, unless you had that good early lead. But that's why they're being disciplined, right? They're not going straight back at it. They're hitting the farm. They're waiting, because there will be a point where Tundra potentially could overextend, right? With heroes like PA, Monkey, Spirit Breaker, they're in the fight or not, right? Like, if they jump in incorrectly one time, they don't have this instant disconnect mechanism, right? Unless maybe PA has an Ags to get a kill and reset, or Spirit Breaker has the BKB available, right? So maybe Nigma can play for that.
They're trying to set up top on Fada, but it is just a Bane, and that Bane has got backup. Fada will tie, but this is going to cost them at least mind control. It's going to cost them both for their lives, as that is not a trade that Nigma Galaxy want to be taking.
Yeah, pretty rough, and then instantly 9 just starts invading the triangle. With 2 big hitters down Nigma, there's no way they can take a real fight tonight. With Skeeter backing him up, they can get the kill, no struggle at all. Tundra, I mean, just like that, they pick up all 3 cores of Nigma Galaxy within seconds from the top lane to the triangle. The beautiful thing is, like, look at the mini-map, the vision from Tundra. It's not as if they have a deep, dire wall in this triangle, right? It's simply the product of, guys, they're dead, run into the fog, run into this darkness and try and find anyone. If they're there, they will die. So, yeah, just Tundra just playing with the confidence that we saw them play of last week, and it's why they are quite a scary team right now, with, I think, easily probably top 2 in the European region right now, just based on performance thus far.
Yeah, just and saw the trajectory they've been on last season. Sure, we didn't see them at TI, but they got close to it, and the improvement and progression of this squad has looked very impressive, and we'll continue to see it here. So far, 18 minutes in, looking to be in pretty good control of this game. See what Nigma Galaxy can do to shake it up. They're trying again around this mid lane. He's ready to commit in. The roll will come out to hold Skeeter back for now, but here comes the backup from 9, swinging across straight in onto RMN. RMN to fall, and now Tundra, they're ready to chase for more. They've got their eyes on mind control. Over in the mid, Nightmare control GH. Mind control gets finished off by Skeeter. The bash is coming onto GH, 3 dead, as again, Tundra showing no difficulty turning up to the fights around this mid lane. Skeeter continues to go from strength to strength, 11k net worth, 3k ahead of that of RTWs in just 19 minutes in. Everything continuing to look pretty up here for Tundra.
Yeah, Tundra very much understanding that they win any fight, right? I don't think we need to sugarcoat this anymore. Nigma right now, they have really no way to be able to hit an objective with confidence. When there's the threat of the charge, this wall, and the amount of fun that they have, and of course Monkey King has the Orchid as well. Just the final straw can be so it very much is Nigma, they need to just somehow push out the waves. When you say this in a cast, you know it's a rough point in the game. They need to push out waves, hope for a pickoff, and survive through the Aegis. Like, that is...
Naked's getting a little bit of solo action. Pretty much. Either will come in to finish off the job. Yeah, with that Orchid causing issues here as Mind Control seems to have his game. Yeah, it's just completely ruined it, pretty much. I mean, you see on the network, Snake King as the support, Monkey King is just about to overtake Mind Control. Engulf this match. There's some crazy numbers elsewhere as well. You know, Skeeter, look at his levels, level 18. You know, I don't think there's anyone anywhere close to that on the Galaxy side right now. He is so far ahead in the XP. Yeah, closest ILTW level 14. Skeeter is massive.
And then you look at his poor old Bane level. I just hit level 10. Okay, cool, hitting double digits, but yeah. Everyone else is 15 plus, and poor old Bane. 7k damage. Luna though, level 2.9. Look a bit shy here.
Yeah, it's been a
rough one.
Not being able to find the opportunities to pop off in the fight so far, RTW.
Not yet, but with the BKB, yeah, hopefully for Nigma, if Tundra again overextend and don't have BKBs available, Eclipse can be that turnaround factor, but Tundra just needs to be disciplined with how they use their aggression because they have it in the bucket loads right now.
They've got to be careful around this tier 1 tower defense. Tundra more than ready to jump in onto Nigma Galaxy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mention is this is a Warlock game.
Eyes on immediately. Skeeter jumps in, takes him out. The wall's been dropped down. Nigma Galaxy going on LTW bought the BKB, but they're in with the damage. The Raw will hold back Skeeter with the grips there. From Fighter, looking down ILTW. He goes down as well as the tier 2 down. 33. They're ready to run up to the tier 3. They're charging in Tundra. No mercy from them. If they dive in, triple kill for Skeeter. It's getting messy, T. It's getting messy when you see them dive into tier 3s. The tier 1's still up in the mid lane. But Tundra going in, and it seems nothing right now. 48 to 5.
Middle tower has fallen.
15k up as well. Like, poor old Kuroki. He just sees RMN 100 to 0. He
Radiant's middle
sees his
tower
Luna game.
is
He's
under
like,
attack.
boys, do you want me to golem? Oh, wait, if I golem, you're still dead. Like, it is so difficult, and I'm in absolute love with how Knight is playing the Spirit Breaker right now. The Shadow Blade, absolute nuisance, thrown in their side, instantly BKB, not messing around with any of these other items, just be the unkillable threat, get into the middle of the fight, and enable the aggression. Enable Snake King to do that stuff spring, get the Orchid off, and give the confidence of PA of going, wait, you've soaked up the damage, I can then jump in as well. Because if Raw is wasted, if Golem's wasted, it's a bottom lane game.
They jump in. The goal's going to be dropped, but ILTW's been focused by Skeeter. Can Skeeter finish him off? Jumps in the bash, and there he can. Skeeter gets the kill. He will lose his life for this, but he's got the Aegis. He's ready for round 2, and the backup comes in. Snake King drops the ultimate. They're diving up to the tier 3s again. In with the bashes onto Mind Control. Mind Control steps back, stays with the axes, but RMN goes down. It's not looking pretty here for Nigma Galaxy as Mind Control's just trying to hide in the trees. He won't be able to stay hidden. They'll find him. Can he survive this? He can't. The vacuum's there, dragging him back out and into the face of Skeeter. As Skeeter claims another life.
Absolute beautiful aggression from Tundra. But, you know, let's give a little bit of praise to the Warlock there. He did do 2.5k damage in that fight. And we did see the effects of Fatal Bond slightly. You know, the idea that Tundra, they all got put to like 25%, 20% HP due to the kind of the tickling damage, the bonds hitting on 4 or 5. There are 4 meaty heroes on Tundra. But again, it's a little bit late. You know, I'm kind of sugarcoating this a little bit just to get through that fight for Nigma. But I can see why maybe the Warlock's working out, but the weaknesses of Warlock are way more present right now. The inability to actually take any of these defensive engagements is very clear, and yeah, Tundra, 33 kills to 5.
It's a scary looking score.
Who's died on? 3 deaths for Fada. Okay.
It's gonna be another one there. In the mid, they find Fada. They can get him. Meanwhile, Silence Grips on RTW. I think we might be seeing the G's. There we are.
2 of them clean.
We are, there we go, GG, 24 minutes in.
Radiant's middle tower.
It was another rough one. Of course, Nigma character, they're still in with their full lineup right now. Iron Man standing in for Miracle. But even so, it's still, it's rough. This was